We're going to take a look at Goldman's global head of asset and wealth management that's really looking to fire up the stock. Joining us now is Bloomberg's Natarajan, who did this story for Bloomberg's Big Take. And this basically is a whole, we're not talking about its consumer unit, we're not talking about markets, we're talking about money management and how that could really change the game for Goldman. What did you find out?
And that's important because when you look at Goldman Sachs today, there really are two important legs to the stool. One is the investment bank. Everyone knows Goldman's investment bank and its strengths in trading and investment banking. Their managers might argue that the market's not valuing it properly, but even if it were to value it higher, it's not going to radically reshape Goldman Sachs and how it performs in the stock market. However, there is this asset and wealth management side. It's about 2.7 trillion in size, and Goldman's making a real pivot there, going away from its balance sheet bet, trying to become an asset gatherer. And the man tasked with it is Marc Nachmann, who I would argue, and many others do inside the firm, is the third most powerful person there right now. Behind the CEO and behind his deputy, Jordan Waldron, Marc Nachmann's the only one who's run trading, who's run investment banking, and now has this critical mission, because if he can really grow this business and show the market that there's value in it, that he can continue to grow it in a very predictable and reliable fashion, then the stock market multiple could actually catch up with its top rivals like JP Morgan, like Morgan Stanley. What does that mean for Goldman Sachs? A stock that's trading at about 310 today, if it had JP Morgan's multiple or even Morgan Stanley, that's $450 a share. That's a big gulf, and that's the gulf that they're hoping to bridge.
So, Sri, Solomon's legacy, it rests with this guy. Gets it right, we're back to him being a hero. He gets it wrong, bad things lie ahead.
Well, we could be in a position where he could be a hero. I don't know if he ever started with the hero title, but it is true. Everyone knows the issues at Goldman Sachs. Everyone knows about the misfired forays. And therefore, 5 years into David Solomon's tenure, it's hard to imagine a scenario where if he were to leave today, that people would see it as a glorious run. There has been a lot of dissatisfaction within the ranks. The stock did well through the pandemic. Book value grew really well. But the further we get away from the pandemic, as that boom starts to fade, you can also see in the results, book value growth has not been great in the last 12 months. The stock has really not gone anywhere in the last 12 months. In fact, it's still $100 down from its all-time highs that it reached in October 2021. So what does Solomon have to do to change the perception of his run as CEO? Really prove to the market that this pivot that he's engineered works, will be successful. So if you're looking at it 5 years from now, and if it is successful, then you will perhaps sit back and say, this is the change that Goldman Sachs needed, and David Solomon has delivered that. He's not there yet, but he could get there.